morning, dear hearts. We have reached our next review. It's review number 4. Please subscribe. We will go over the introduction to the review lessons, and it is really this introduction that is going to guide everything. The lessons themselves are really just offered to us in the exact state that the title of the lesson was. It doesn't go deep into it. The whole part of this review, the crux of it, is for us to start to realize we want our minds to join with God's. This introduction to this review says that, we are now preparing to become aware of what's going to happen in the second part of the workbook. It says we review again, this time aware we are preparing, just what I said, second part of learning how the truth can be applied. We've been given truths, and in part 2 of the workbook, we will learn how to truly apply them into our life, into our mind, into our heart, into how we live in this world, and how we can rise above this world and find that world we really want. So this review has, and ones to come, have a central idea that is going to guide the whole review. This one is, my mind holds only what I think with God. It holds only, it keeps only those ideas that are in communion with God, that are thought with and bring us together. Communion is joining in, and this is what we want to do. We want to join in the mind of God, because that is where we truly reside. We don't reside in these houses and condos and apartments and farms and wherever you believe you are. Our true residence is with God in heaven, that world we really want. Now, to bring in 2 of the first 50 lessons, and I did this last year also, I believe, lesson 35, and both of these lessons are ones that we have mentioned recently in the most recent lessons. My mind is part of God's. I am very holy. Perfect for this, because this lesson 35 is establishing the source of our true identity. That's part of what the text of that lesson tells us. And it describes you as you must really be in truth. Who we really are in truth is God's sinless, guiltless, perfect child. And indeed, our minds could only hold what we think with God, with our source, with our Creator. Lesson 45 was God is the mind in which I think. And in that lesson, we were told, instructed, because it was the first time we had this, that nor do the thoughts you think with the mind of God leave your mind, because thoughts do not leave their source. That's a major idea, foundational idea from the Course, that thoughts never leave their source. If we are in the mind of God, obviously we have not left that source, and obviously those are the only thoughts that my mind can hold. My mind holds only what I think with God, because God is my source and I have not left Him. This lesson wants us to, for 5 minutes, this introduction, and this is the guide for these lessons, for this review, for 5 minutes in the morning and then 5 in the evening before bedtime, go into a quiet space. Again, it doesn't say meditation, but it is. 5 minutes with this thought, my mind holds only what I think with God, will be enough to set the day along the lines which God appointed, and to place His mind in charge of all the thoughts you will receive that day. But it says we're not doing it alone, because we will also be receiving the thoughts of others. Okay, so those thoughts, they will come from they will not come from you alone, for they will be shared with Him, and we are all part of the mind of God. So all of these thoughts will be shared with the entire sonship as well. One of the things that this introduction, it wants to remind us of is that lack of forgiveness is going to block this thought that my mind holds only what I think with God from our awareness. We must truly forgive. And it is this that we are trying to do and choosing to do and hopefully willing to do now. The thoughts, the illusions that we are holding on to will not block the truth. They may delay us, as we have said before, but they cannot block the truth. It says the purpose is to show you something else and hold correction off through self-deceptions made to take its place. That's what every illusion does. But yet, your mind only holds what you think with God, and our self-deceptions cannot take the place of truth. And it has this wonderful comparison that, if a child throws a stick into the ocean, it's not going to change the tide. If we choose not to join our minds with God, it does not change the truth of who we are. At the time will come. The time will come. It's guaranteed. It's inevitable that we will change our mind and change our thoughts about what it is we truly want here. And forgiveness is the gateway to that. It says each hour of the day, bring your mind the thought which started the day, how we began, and spend a quiet moment with it. Then repeat the 2 ideas you practice for the day. Unhurriedly take our time. This is what time is truly meant for. This is the right-minded use of time. Its intended purpose and use for us to go into this quietness, not to hurry, and to willingly and easily go into the space where we connect with our truth, with God's mind, with our Father, with the source, with the truth of who we are. My mind holds only what I think with God. I'm reuniting. I'm coming into communion with my Father. It says we have these ideas. We need no more than this to give us happiness and rest and endless quiet, perfect certainty, and all our Father wills that we receive as the inheritance we have of Him. God has many gifts for us. We just have to be willing to receive them. And each day of practice, as we review, we close as we began, repeating first the thought that made the day. My mind holds only what I think with God, and then go into this special time of blessing. We are choosing our freedom and our peace. We go into this review wanting to get there, to achieve that, to reclaim the connection, the unbreakable connection that we have with God and with His mind. And it says, God offers thanks to you who practice thus the keeping of His word. Our mind holds only what we think with God. It cannot hold anything else because it is joined with God's mind. One mind, okay, our mind, God's mind, they are joined forever and forever. The 2 lessons that we are reviewing: forgiveness is the key to happiness. Forgiveness offers everything I want. That's what we're doing. We're going into forgiveness so we can get to the realization that our minds keep only the thoughts we think with God, because those are the only true thoughts. Everything else is an illusion, and it will fall away, and we won't even miss it. So that's it for today. I hope this helped. Please like, please share, please subscribe, please comment. The lessons to come, because they are short, and they probably will be smaller, shorter videos. So we'll see. Like, share, subscribe, comment, pray, and get into that quiet space where your mind is one with God's. It's where it's meant to be. Namaste.